We ready?
We're not ready.
To
I'm used to like one showmance, 2, 3, but these past 2 seasons specifically, there's like so many hornballs like showmances. Like, play the fucking game. Can you just stop like worrying about getting in each other's pants and just play the game on a strategic level? We're not friends here. We're not more than friends here. Play the game. It fits everybody.
I'm glad you said that, Keith, because one thing I wanted to talk about is Dan Giesling tweeted tonight saying showmances costing people $500,000 since 2001. And I actually disagree with that. You know, there are some people that see showmances as a strategy and some as a hindrance. What are your guys' thought on what showmances do? Because let's look at some of these winners. Like, we've got Jordan, part of a showmance. Boogie, part of a showmance. I don't know if either of you watched Canada, but the winner of Canada Season 1, part of a showmance. Lisa from Season 3, part of a showmance. Rachel, part of a showmance. I think it probably has to do with how you play it, because I think that showmances, especially if you're the less threatening member of the pair, it's just a more evolved meat shield strategy. Like, we see in different seasons players attach themselves to these big competitors, these big threats, and use them as kind of like a shield. And I think that showmances are kind of like I said, like an evolution of that, which I think could actually be a really big strategy. I think the moment that a showmance becomes a hindrance is when that relationship becomes more important than the game itself. But I think if you can manage that and use that strategically, I think it's one of the best strategies in the game.
For me, it's not the showmance itself that irritates me. For me, it's the romance that irritates me. So, like, Danielle and Jason, they had a showmance. Dick and Danielle, they had a showmance. I mean, granted, they're father and daughter, so that's kind of gross. But yeah, it's basically the strategy for Big Brother to win is that you need to pair up with one person. That's it. That's your final 2. Take it as far as you come. Like, you can make it public, you can make it secret. But have one person that you're completely loyal to, and the house will be scared to get rid of one because the other will come after you immediately. So it's not the idea of showmances that piss me off. It's the romance. It's the bullshit that comes in between. It's the total, like, it goes against everything that's strategic about the game because, like, you're just, like, Brendan and Rachel the entire season when they were first on the game, like, they were both evicted pre-jury. I mean, the only reason why Rachel won the other season was for the Pandora's box. And then Jordan won her season, you know, being America's sweetheart. But I don't know. But it's just very, very frustrating, very, very infuriating. But I understand that showmances work because it coincides with the winning strategy of just having one other person. But it's very, very frustrating that it seems like this season that's the only thing that's going on. This love triangle, Hayden and Nicole. Last season with Amanda and McCrae. And then, what is it? Erine and half the house. Like, I don't know. It's just awful to see.
The problem I have with showmances, because, I mean, you definitely were throwing out some real talk. The problem I have with showmances is that I want to root only for a showmance that is like a final 2 partner in which it is a secret. So you brought up Danielle and Jason. That was a secret, and that's why that worked so well. Dick and Danielle, I don't want to throw America's Player in there, but America's Player helped because Dick should have left.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. And then you have, like, Jordan and Jeff. I mean, I guess that's a good one, but, I mean, Jeff was a target, and Jordan only won competitions after Jeff left, and then, like you said, Brendan and Rachel were targeted since the beginning. Like, how easy is it to play the game when you're targeted since week 1 because you have an open relationship to the whole house for no reason? Like, there's no reason for them to be that open to the house about it. So I'm only down for showmances if you're secret about it, which I know is probably difficult. I don't know. It's like kind of like a bromances or girlmances, like our Nicole Christine one, but that one's also kind of obvious. would work better because they're not actually, cuddling up to each other and, kissing on each other. Therefore, that relationship isn't so much public.
Dan and Memphis, Hayden and Lane, Mike and Will.
Hayden and Kristen.
But you got evicted that way.
Oh, yeah,
It's
well.
not him.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Rachel heard of kissing.
Yeah, I think you have to view Showmances as just as you would view any other pair. But I think that the romantic interest tends to be the downfall to some of them because it is a form of distraction, and it's all about how you, I think, monitor it. Of course, in a situation like that, it's nice to have that person that you don't have to think about game with. But then on the other hand, you're in a competition for $500,000. You should be thinking game every minute,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's a good strategy, but if you make it public, you have to be aware of the repercussions of that. But I mean, there's also benefits of it too. What Keith said, if you guys are publicly with each other, for a fact, you put both of us on the block, one of us is going home, but the other one, you've got one person going right after you. And I think there is a level of intimidation that could benefit Showmances, but...
And a pair that I thought did that really well was Amanda and McCrae. Mainly Amanda, because Amanda wore the pants. But Amanda ran that house. She was able to have a showmance and still make a lot of decisions for the entire group. And I feel like she did a really, really good job because it wasn't a showmance that was guided by emotions and, just isolating themselves only to each other. They were still invested in the game, and granted, Andy was doing his thing, but they were still strategically utilizing their position as a showmance to get further themselves. That I don't have a problem with. Jeff and Jordan, they were by themselves, so I found that problematic. Rachel and Brendan, by themselves. Every other couple that had a showmance by themselves.
Yeah, it does cause some form of alienation with the house guest. So I think it's a really bad. It's a big enemy for social gamers. I think because if you've got someone that's always wanting to hang out with you, or you have people in the house that might want to talk strategy with you, but don't feel as comfortable talking strategy with the person that you're in a showmance with, and people view you as a pair, it kind of may cause you to miss out on a couple of opportunities as far as relationships with other players in the house. So I think there's pros and cons with showmances. We've seen it work sometimes. We've seen it not work a bunch of times. But yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. I didn't think we were going to talk about that. So I like that how we kind of transitioned into showmances. I thought that was interesting.
You brought up Lisa. Let's not
let the record show.
Her showmance. So
that's true.
She could focus on her game, which she needed to.
And I would consider that a good or a example of using showmances strategically, which we don't see a lot. We see people who will lay on their sword for their loved ones, like Brendan or even Caleb. And I think Lisa's a really good example of using that relationship as a meat shield and being willing to cut them off when she needed to. She could have easily voted him back in, but she didn't because she knew of the repercussions it was going to have on her game. And, I will take my hat off to Lisa for that. I think that was a great move, and I think it was a great example of how to use that relationship effectively.
We also need some more...
that in season 3. And we're at season 16. She taught people that in season 3.
And the worst part is people don't even know who she is.
Yeah, they don't. They have no idea.
And in season 4, Allison taught us to vote them out, and they'll still vote for you to win at the end. So vote them out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at Drew and Diane. Drew... use Diane, and I have to rewatch that season because I don't know what the dynamics were. But I mean, at the end of the day, he evicted her. And he still got her vote. It's all about
to get that vote though.
What? Oh yeah, I mean, what, you're gonna give Cowboy $500,000? Please.
Yeah.
Just.
But it was a 4-3 vote, so
almost.